Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we have got the long-awaited WPL Suzuki Jimny!
Holy fuck! Suzuki Jimny!
Alright, so this has already been out for a couple of weeks now. We just had a little delay with getting the review ones sent out. So my one has finally decided to show up. And I got a nice little thank you message. So So I will apologise for any background noises which sound like a 3D printer. I currently got a project, or another big project on the go, which you'll see probably in a couple of weeks, because currently I'm calling next 4 weeks WPL week, because 2 weeks ago I released a video on the most influential RC I own, which is a WPL C74. Last week we had the release and the announcement of the D6X series, the little nice Toyota dual cab Toyota Hiluxes. This week we've got the Jimny. So next week we've got another new release, which is sat behind me on the bed. Let's talk about that. We've got the Jimny. I've got to love a Jimny. Well, technically, depending where you come from, it's either a Jimny or a Suzuki Samurai. Here in the UK, we know these as Samurais. A lot of other places around the world, like Japan and so on, know them as a Jimny. Talking about Japan, this is a collaboration release between WPL and WPL Japan. Hence why it is 100% licensed. And God, look at that. Just the box art looks beautiful on it. So, enough chit-chatting. Let's get this box open. Actually, this end's already half open. I think I know the reason why. Yeah. So, here it is! And there's the parts! So I may have add a little bit more to my order. So there's a few odds and ends for the 6x6 which shouldn't come with yours. So upgraded metal axle, 2-speed, and a spare motor. But there is a single speed gearbox, and I've got a spare set of metal axles all ready to go on this. The plan is today, because I'm actually filming this like maybe 2 or 3 weeks before this video gets released, is to take this and the 4-wheel drive D chassis out to get some running footage. So I thought, you know what, I might as well open it up and take both together. So like the D chassis release, we've now got the new environmental packaging, which surprisingly this is very, very secure in, unlike the D series one where it ended up flapping around a little bit. One thing I've noticed on mine, but it may be due to the extra packaging, there is a little bit of damage to the hood. It looks like pen markings. But apart from that, it's held up very, very well on this one. Let's get it out of the box. Okay, I'm going to need something better than my little knife. Where is my side cutters? So, it's nicely secured in this box. Oh no. Ooh. I can't pull them ones through. DOS. I'm going to have to cut both sides, because it looks like these ones are wrapped around the frame. Talking about that, so it is a new C series chassis, but it's the first one in the C series to be on spring leaves. Look. Oh, and it's also servo on axle. It does look like it's got the mounts to add shocks, which I may end up adding to it later on. So some of you may be questioning, is this truly 1/10 scale? Well, to answer that, here's my CC01 Pajero. In real life, the Suzuki Jimny is actually, or this year of Jimny is actually classed as a K car. So same as like the D12s. They're actually supposed to be really small. But comparing it to the Pajero, which should be a considerable amount bigger, it is, I think, the correct scale for 1/10. So, I think enough chit chat right now. The plan is, for the rest of this video, I am going to take the Jimny out, get some running footage as it is, and then we're going to start modifying it. So, let's go. And we are back in the studio, and my first impressions of this is I'm very surprised by it. I kind of expected the gearbox to be crap because it's the exact same gearbox as what's in the B36 and also in the Toyota Land Cruiser, and the common issue with them was it's stalling out. Well, this doesn't have the same motor in it compared to the other two. This has got 370 size, or I want to say 370 size, the same size as the 2-speed transmission. Boy, does that make a difference over the smaller motor that the other two come with. Apart from that, the only bad side I see to it is weight distribution. I.e., it's slightly top heavy because of this body. It's also slightly rear heavy because of this body and battery placement. So let's have a little look underneath. The battery placement is like the D12, it's placed in the rear. So all your weight is over the rear. Well, it kind of makes it do little backflips. But I see that as quite an easy issue to fix. Just need to add some weight to the front and some weight to the underside. So, as this is a brand new chassis, I'm gonna take the body off and have a little look underneath. Alright, so we've got the body off the chassis. That was kind of a little bit difficult. You see the standard 4 screws here. That's easy, and that comes off. And then on the body there was a mixture between a bar which went here and your front bumper, all kind of holding it down. And then there was also 2 extra screws, which, to be honest, I didn't notice first of all, because they are buried all the way up there, so hidden right up there. So just a little word of caution when taking it apart, that there is 2 extra screws holding it up. So having a little look underneath, you can tell it's a completely new style chassis. It's all spring leaf, like I said, servo on axle. So I've noticed a few little things which may pique your interest. First of all, can you see where the wheel screw is? No, neither did I, because it's underneath a little cap. So to get your wheels off, you have to pull the cap off, and there's your screw. I tried doing this by hand and they're on there very tight, so I kind of struggled to get them off. Second of all, it comes from the factory with soft tyres and foams, which is really nice. Third of all, this gearbox has like an extra little bit, and like I said, it's got the bigger motor in it. I've no idea what this extra little bit is for, but they've really thought about it. Because if you have a look here on the frame, you've got different mounting heights. So I'm assuming the mounting height all the way up here is for the 2-speed gearbox to give you ground clearance, and the lower mounting holes are for, say, if you want to put the single-speed gearbox from the C74 into it. Which I'm like I said, I'm very impressed by this, considering the price point on it, and considering how capable it is straight out the box. And from the looks of it at the board, I believe it will also include It also includes all the ports, so you can add an extra light kit to it. So, I think enough of me talking. I'm going to do a few modifications to it. Okay, so I've dropped the gearbox, and I was kind of curious what this is. It is literally just a motor protector. It just happens to have a really odd thing sat on the side. Thought it was possible a 2-speed gearbox upgrade, but nah. It's pretty much just the same gearbox inside. So testing it with the 2-speed, so it would fit into the top holes perfectly. I don't know whether or not it will clear underneath the body yet, but if it goes into the top holes, it gives it quite a bit of ground clearance. It's almost, I want to say, it's almost on par with the new gearbox. So, next one I'm going to have to test is the single speed, but I've got to build it first. So with the chassis resting on the body, you can see that really tucks it up underneath. It is really leaving me conundrum because I want to put this 2-speed in the 6x6. But I'm kind of wanting to build this either as a trail truck or a crawler. I don't know yet, and it is very tempting just to throw this in there instead of the single speed. Well, we've hit a slight snag with the single speed. It's going to need chopped to fit, get that to fit. But the next question is whether or not even the drive shafts would work with it. So I'm going to make up one long one and the extra long boy and see if that works. So it's done. Apart from the painting the body, but I'm planning on doing that a lot later on. After I've found the colour I like, I'm thinking possibly going a reddish colour. But what I've done underneath, however, you can see it's now got the metal single speed. It's got metal axles, front and rear. I've also changed the servo to a metal geared servo, and I've used a servo on axle mount made by Mark. I'll add a link below, and then I've added some extra weight onto the bottom of the servo to try and bring the nose weight down a little bit. I think my next little mods I'm going to do are going to require some custom fabrication, which will include a rock slider, just a normal bar on it, and maybe change this front bumper out for like maybe a stinger bumper, because if you remove this you get a stupid amount of ground clearance on it. So that's all for now. If you are interested in more WPL content, like I said at the beginning of this video, the next video is going to be another WPL. So like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned. And I'll see you.